Is your next comedian? Please welcome Drew Coker, everybody. Drew.
Are you ready for a multimedia comedy extravaganza? Yeah, me too. Where is it? So the time change happened. I for one, am really happy because it means I get to poop at home in the morning instead of at work. All summer, you try to tell your stomach, come on, man. We're going to be late, but it doesn't listen. So tonight, with Veterans Day coming up, I'm going to tell you the story, the true story that I told in this room 2 years ago of how my father died. Because that's always good comedy, right? Death and stuff. So this whole story is absolutely true. It's the morning of November the 11th. And my dad has been sick for a couple days. He's laying in a hospice bed. Everyone's around him. He's been kind of up and down all night. It's about 10 in the morning. None of us have had any sleep. His breaths are coming slower and slower. My mom is holding my dad's hand for the last time and says, "John, go to the light. It's okay. Go to the light." And I lean over to my mother and I say, "Mom, you are literally nagging Dad to death." And I think Dad would have appreciated it. So, dying is a pain in the ass. Because the funeral home industry is so crooked, they are trying to milk us for every penny we have in the most vulnerable state we could ever be. My dad did not want a fancy funeral, and he didn't want to be in a casket and all this stuff. He wanted to be cremated. He wanted his ashes sprinkled. That was it. So we go to the funeral home, and I'm like deflecting everything that this dude is trying to sell my mom. What are you going to do with the cremains? Like, they made a pun at their own thing. That's what they call your ashes when they cremate you, is cremains. What are you going to do with the cremains? And we're like, I don't know, what do you do with them? He's like, well, we have this stainless steel box that we can sell you for $700 to put the cremains in. And for your information, it's suitable for burial. Wow, I had no idea. Thanks for that tidbit. No, Mom, we're not buying this crap. We'll go to Big Lots and get a little vase for $1. We're not buying this. So the guy's looking at me all funny because I'm just like knocking his profit down bit by bit. And I'm like, do you have just like a box or something to put him in? He's like, yeah, fine, okay. So 3 weeks later, I'm visiting my mother, and my mom comes back from the funeral home with the cremains. And I'm thinking it's going to be like a cardboard box that says like Acme Funeral Supply Company on it. No, what they sent my dad home with was the largest Chinese takeout container I've ever seen. It was literally that tall. Like, that's the real size that a 6'5", 200-pound guy was in. And I'm thinking, what are the fortune cookies like at that place? But sure enough, Dad was in there, and we divvied him up and sprinkled him. And we had to save a little bit of him because he was a veteran. My dad was such the hardcore military guy that in the Korean War, they sent him to Germany. That was like the farthest from the front you could be. But military service changed him forever. Because when he came back, all he wanted was good German beer. He couldn't drink Budweiser anymore. But being a veteran, you get to be buried in a veteran cemetery, which is cool, and they're really nice. And so we're sitting there talking to the funeral director, and he's like, what do you want to put on the headstone? I'm like, well, what do you normally put on a headstone? And they're like, well, most of the time, it's like, loving father, great person, blah, blah, blah. But that was not my dad. What we wanted on there, as we sat there, my brother came up with the idea, we wanted, I told you I was sick. Well, he pushed back, like funeral director pushed back really hard. And we're like, no, we gotta have it. This was the one time I wanted to be political in my life. I was calling my representative. I'm like, we're gonna get this. Give us the forms. So we pull out the military form you gotta fill out. We go down to the bottom where they put in, what do you want on the thing? I'm like, I told you I was sick. That's what we want on the headstone. Call somebody, that's it. We're doing that. So 2 days later we get a call, ain't happening. And I'm like, I'm calling the president. Mom's like, look, it's fine. And this is how you really do it. When you can't get over on the government, you get passive aggressive. So this is his real headstone. This is the actual headstone from the cemetery. Told you I was sick. Veterans, thank you for your service, and everyone else, thanks for laughing.